That sound, that specific piercing screech from your backpack meant one thing. Something you loved was dying between your math textbook and your gym shorts. And you couldn't do a thing about it. We paid money for that feeling. We begged for it. Let's talk about why. The Tamagotchi was marketed as a toy. It was not a toy. It was a psychological experiment strapped to a keychain. Bandai released it in Japan in November 1996. By 1997, it had colonized every classroom and every anxious kid's waking thought. The premise sounded innocent. A tiny digital creature on a tiny screen. You fed it. You cleaned its pixelated waste. You put it to bed. Fail with sufficient frequency, and it died. Not paused, not went to sleep, died. With a grave, a cross, the full funeral, rendered in 8 pixels. Show up to school with a dead Tamagotchi, and the look you got from other 8-year-olds was the same look reserved for kids who forgot the group project. A live pet meant competent. A dead one meant negligent disaster of a human being. Before you'd even learned fractions. Schools banned them because kids were constructing entire peer networks just to keep a digital animal alive during class. Psychologists quoted in newspapers at the time described authentic grief responses when the pet died. A real mourning process. In children still learning long division. What the Tamagotchi was actually teaching you, without your consent, was that some systems demand your attention whether or not that's convenient. That is not a game mechanic. That is a rehearsal for the job, for the group chat, for every notification that will make your stomach drop at 11 p.m. on a Sunday. Does that feel familiar? It should. You've been living that exact loop on your phone every day since. If the Tamagotchi was the anxiety you carried in your pocket, the Furby was the anxiety you put on a shelf and prayed would stay quiet until morning. Tiger Electronics launched Furby on October 2, 1998. It had a fundamental problem from day one. It looked like something that had survived a lab incident. Glassy eyes, motorized ears, a beak that spoke in a language called Furbish, which nobody asked for, gradually revealing English the longer you interacted with it, faking the illusion of learning in real time. Charming, right? It was not charming. It was charming right up until it started doing that at 3 a.m. from inside a closet, where you'd put it 3 weeks ago because you couldn't sleep with it watching you. In January 1999, the NSA banned Furbies from its premises, warning staff that toys like Furby were prohibited on site over fears they could absorb classified conversations and repeat them. Roger Schiffman, president of Tiger Electronics, went public to correct the record. Furby couldn't record anything. Its vocabulary of around 200 words was pre-programmed from day one. The learning was an illusion baked into the chip from the start. The NSA had been spooked by a children's toy. The Furby wasn't malfunctioning, it was working exactly as designed. And that was the problem. Before we get into The Sims, and the moment this whole digital caretaker era took its darkest turn, drop a comment right now. What was the most anxiety-inducing piece of tech you owned as a kid? Furby? Tamagotchi? Something even worse? Tell me the full story. I read every single one, and the most unhinged answers are getting called out in the next video. And if this is already triggering suppressed memories, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from. The Tamagotchi made you a servant. The Furby made you a victim. The Sims, released by Maxis in February 2000, made you something far more dangerous. It was sold as a life simulator. What it actually was, once you spent enough time with it, was a dollhouse you could set on fire. The first hour always went the same, 45 minutes in the character creator, a house furnished, a sim placed in a promising career. Optimism intact. Then you discovered Rosebud. One cheat code, typed into the console, infinite money. The perfect house materialized overnight, every need met, and within 20 minutes you were the most bored you'd ever been. Because what you actually wanted wasn't a thriving virtual family, you wanted stakes. And when the game stopped providing them, you manufactured your own. The pool ladder came out, the kitchen got sealed, A fireplace appeared in a room with no exits. Not out of cruelty, out of the specific boredom that follows winning too easily. The Sims handed you total control and watched, without judgment, without a single pop-up asking if you were sure, as you used that control to build elaborate catastrophes. Pull the thread, and the pattern becomes uncomfortable. The Tamagotchi taught you that technology would need you. The Furby taught you it could unsettle you. The Sims taught you that unchecked control trends toward destruction. Every lesson landed, every one stuck. Look at how you use your phone right now, the compulsive checking, the dread of an unanswered notification. The way a red badge produces the exact same stomach drop as a beeping keychain in third period. That is conditioning. You trained for it, with your own allowance money, starting at age 8. We loved these toys because they felt alive. The gadgets we carried in the same era had no such excuse. Plasticky, chrome-plated, ostentatiously designed objects that somehow convinced an entire generation they were cool. Clamshell phones, transparent controllers. If any of that sounds like your kind of suppressed memory, you know what to do. It's right there on your screen.